Hi, this is Paula with Pilates. I want to thank you for joining me along with the UMBC Rec for class today. I want to remind you to always consult your physician prior to taking this class. If there's an exercise that we do during the class that is not a good fit, you experience any stinging, tingling, or burning in any of your joints or limbs or muscles, please stop the exercise, take a couple deep breaths, and rejoin us when you feel more comfortable. For this class, you're going to need to wear something that is comfortable and flexible, so exercise leggings as well as a breathable shirt work just fine. For class, you also only need a mat. Behind me, you'll see that I have a blue yoga mat on top of more of a thicker, comfortable mat. You do not need the thicker mat. I simply have it there because it's a part of my space. Other than that, I hope you enjoy class. You need to expect your body to be stretched and become more flexible and total body movement. So if you're ready, let's get started. The first thing we're going to start with is an exercise or warm-up exercise called cat stretch. So you're going to need to place your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips, and your knees also need to be hip width apart. All right? So hands underneath my shoulders, my knees are hip width apart, my ankles are also in line with my knees. I'm going to press my palms into the mat, and now I'm going to take a breath, inhale, and I'm going to exhale and round my back. And inhale, come back to flat back. Make sure you do not dip and create an extension of your tailbone, okay, or lower your belly button, but you want to come up to a flat back. And exhale. And inhale. Always look down between your hands and keep a nice neutral spine. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Push into the mat, round your back, open up between your shoulder blades. Inhale and come to flat back. And exhale. Inhale. Feel free to inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Round your back, get as high as you can in your spine. And inhale. And exhale. Good. A nice little cue is when you round your back, you should be able to see between your knees. You should not see your toes touching at all. And that tells you that your legs are in good alignment. Let's do a few more here. And two more. And one more. Very nice job. All right, now we're going to move into an exercise called prone stretch. We're going to remain in this position. So your hands are going to remain underneath your shoulders. Your knees are going to remain underneath your hips, and your feet, your ankles are going to remain in the same position, as well as your feet are going to be bridge of the foot down, okay? So the exercise for prone stretch, or the movement for prone stretch rather, is us inhaling and making our belly large, then small, and then holding the position after we've exhaled all the breath, okay? So I'm going to show you what I mean. We're going to make our belly large, nice and round, as if we had a really good meal and we're now stuffed. And now we're going to make our belly small, as if we had nothing to eat all day long. And my belly button is pulled all the way in towards my spine. And then when we get it as tight as possible and we exhaled all the air that's inside our abdomen, we're going to hold that position and breathe naturally and normally without releasing the muscles we've just contracted, okay? So let me show you what I mean. It's by a 5 count. So we're going to inhale into the belly for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I did not dip my back down, dip my belly button towards the mat. I kept my spine neutral. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Notice, if you can see, that my belly button is pulled tight towards my spine, small again. And then I'm going to hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then I'm just going to relax. Then we're going to restart, okay? So, let's try that together. Ready? When I say breathe into the belly, that means making the belly big and round. When I say breathe out and exhale, that means making the belly small. And when I say hold, that means holding that position with our abdominal muscles and breathing for a 5 count. Okay? So here we go. Let's breathe into the belly. That's inhale. Make it big for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now make it small and exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold that position for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's do it again. Look down at your mat. Inhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it big. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it small. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Make it big. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more set. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wonderful job. Come on back. Peel your hands off your mat. You may find that you have some muscles burning a little bit in your wrist, in the palms of your hands. Your abdominals are probably talking to you a little bit. Your thigh muscles are probably talking to you a little bit. Again, Pilates is a total body workout, okay? So let's move on to our next exercise, and that's called an alternating leg raise. So you're going to come on down to your back, looking up at the ceiling. Knees are going to be bent, still hip distance apart. Feet are going to be flat. Hands are going to be beside you, palm side down. Your spine is going to be pressed into the mat. Your belly button is pressed towards your spine, and your feet are planted just to start. For this exercise, we're simply lifting the leg with the hip flexor, rotating the hip, okay, so that the knee comes over the hip, and then the knee comes in alignment with the ankle, all right? Notice that when I lifted my leg, I didn't pull my ankle close and then lift. But I simply started where I was with my feet planted on the mat. I engaged my hip muscle, okay? And I lifted my leg, okay, starting with the foot, the sole of my foot, and allowed that rotation to follow through, okay? Or vice versa, excuse me. So I started with my hip and allowed that rotation to follow through, and then my foot came up last, all right? So when we do this exercise, our hands are going to remain at our sides, and we're going to lift one leg to a 90-degree position at a time, and lower one leg at a 90-degree position at a time, okay? So wherever your feet start is where they should land. The other thing with this exercise is we have to incorporate the breathing. So when I say inhale, we're then going to exhale, and then we're going to lift. Inhale, exhale, lift, okay? Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Sounds pretty simple, right? So let's try it. It's going to sound like this, and then I'm going to talk you through the remaining sets of the exercise. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Okay, got it? Let's do it together. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. You breathe as I say inhale, exhale, and then lift. And then you breathe, inhale, exhale, and then lower. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Again. Keep going. Few more. Two more. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Last set. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lift. Inhale, exhale, lower. Inhale, exhale, lower. Great job. You might feel your lower abs engaged. You might also feel that your thigh muscles engaged for that warm-up exercise. Now we're going to go into our hip rotation, or hip roll rather. So for our hip roll, we're going to stay in this position, and the only things we want to do is take our hips and drive them up towards the ceiling, okay? So we're pressing our feet into the mat. We're slowly raising up our hips so that we look like we're in a bit of a bridge, and then we're going to slowly lower down. And when we lower down, we start from the top of the spine, and we let each vertebrae touch the mat until our tailbone touches the mat last, okay? Our feet are pressed into the mat. There's equal distribution of weight between our big toe, our pinky toe, and our heel, okay? So hands are by our sides. We're then going to inhale, exhale, and push up, okay? We are exhaling as we drive our hips towards the ceiling, and we're inhaling as we lower down one vertebrae at a time, okay? Inhale and exhale. And inhale and lower down. Good. Now, as with every exercise, we should be looking up. You might see that I've turned in your direction so you can hear me better. When we raise our hips up towards the ceiling, our chin is going to continue to hover over our chest and not touch. And then we're going to lower down. You can expect to feel your hamstrings engage and start to burn just a little bit. That's an okay sign. And when I say burn, I mean extend, okay, and release between the rising and the lowering, okay? So your hamstrings are being stretched when we do this exercise. Inhale and exhale. Okay, glutes are squeezed as we do this exercise. Lower down and exhale. We're flexing our hamstring muscles here and lower and exhale. There's no pressure on the neck. Most of the weight is being held or pushed or pressed into your upper back. Okay? Again. Inhale and lower down. Let's do 3 more just like that. Inhale, now exhale. Inhale and lower. And exhale. And inhale. One more. Exhale. And inhale. Wonderful job. All right, now we're going to move into some shoulder exercises, some arm exercises. So the first one we're going to do is a protraction and retraction of our scapula. So that requires us to swing our arms up. Only our arms move in this warm-up exercise. Our fingers are going to be spread a little bit. And we're going to stretch towards the ceiling. Fingertips are going to pretend to push something imaginary above us and push it away from us, okay? Our head remains on the mat, and you're going to feel your shoulder girdle just separate and then come back together, okay? So my hands look like this. They're going to separate, they're going to stretch, and then they're going to release and come back together, okay? So palms are facing each other. We're looking up at the ceiling. We're going to inhale, and we're going to exhale and push up. Okay, head stays on the mat, spine stays on the mat, feet are planted, knees are still hip distance apart, and then we're going to lower our shoulders back down to the mat, okay? We're just going to stretch up. Everything stays the same. If nothing else, the only thing that might be moving on its own is your belly button and your abdominal muscles pushing more into your spine and into the mat, okay? And that's okay. And again, push up, push through the fingertips, stretch forward. Good. So if you're reaching for something, you're grabbing hold of it, now lower down. Now let's add our breathing to it. We want to inhale and we want to completely exhale for as long as we're stretched towards the ceiling. And then when we run out of breath, in that exhale, we're going to inhale and lower down and prepare to repeat that exercise, okay? So here we go. We're going to inhale. Now we're going to exhale. Inhale. Now exhale. Inhale, exhale. And exhale, we just inhale, so that's exhale. Last set. Inhale, exhale. Inhale. Good. Now I want you to reach behind you because we're transitioning into another exercise, and this is called arm circles. Now for arm circles, you want your arms to hover above your head, okay? And just going to scoot down just a touch. The reason you want your arms to hover is because when your arms are flat on the mat, your lower back tends to pop up, and we don't want that. We want our abs to always be engaged and our belly button always touching our spine, and our spine always pressed into the mat, okay? That gives us good core stability. So, your arms are going to be stretched above your head. Your thumb is going to be pointed down towards your mat or the floor, and your pinky finger is going to be pointed up towards the ceiling, okay? Now, with your fingertips stretching above your head as well, and making you about 2 inches taller, you're now going to turn your palms out and you're going to circle, okay? And then you're going to repeat. Stretch above your head. Make sure your spine is touching and engaged with the mat. Turn your palms out and circle. Again, reach above, thumb down, pinky finger up, turn your palms out, and circle. Let's inhale as we reach up and above our head. Let's exhale as we circle. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Feel the stretch through your biceps, your forearms, and your fingertips. 2 more. And one more. Very nice job. Now I want you to place your arms next to you, and we're going to grab behind our knees and come to a seated position. Good job. Take your time coming up. If you have trouble coming up from that position, laying to sitting up position, take a big exhale, okay? And that's actually what we're going to practice at this moment. We're going to practice an exercise called rolling like a ball, all right? So, your feet are going to be flat. Your heels are going to come a little bit closer to your glutes to give you momentum. You're then going to place your hands on the outside of your ankles, and you're going to sit up nice and tall to start. But to prepare for the roll, you're going to have to tuck your head. So I'm going to just show you, but I'm also going to lift my head up so you can hear the instructions for after that. So you're going to tuck your head, get really tight. You then, after you tuck your head, you're then going to lift your feet off the mat, okay? And then that'll give you a little round in your spine, and then you'll be ready to inhale as you roll back, exhale as you roll up. So watch and see before you try it. If you've done this with me before, feel free to go ahead and get started, okay? Now notice, my head stayed tucked, and I like your head to stay tucked too. If you find and have trouble getting up, two things. Big exhale coming up. Second thing, grab behind your knees. So it'll look more like this. Okay? Believe me, the exhale works. All right, so let's do a few more together. Hands on the outside of the ankles or fingers behind the knees, okay? Heels are closer to the glutes. Toes are up. It's okay if your big toe touches in between rolls. That's perfectly fine, okay? Now let's roll back, roll up, roll back, roll up. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Keep going. Inhale, exhale. Two more. Inhale, exhale. One more. Good job. Now, just a little reminder with that exercise, make sure when you roll back, the back of your head does not touch the mat. You keep that head nice and tucked. Okay? Good job. Now we're going to go into our spine twist. So our feet are going to be together. Always stay together. They are partners. They never separate during this exercise. With our legs are going to be called, what I call locked and loaded. That means you're going to squeeze your glutes, which are then going to help you engage the muscles in your thighs, the muscles in your calves, and because you're already pressing your feet together, your ankles are also, the muscles in your ankles and the front of your lower legs are also going to be engaged, okay? You're going to sit up nice and tall, chest out, okay? And you're going to bring your arms to shoulder height, bent elbow position, okay? Now, your belly button is pulled in, you're looking straight ahead, and what you're going to do is you're going to twist to one side at a time for a 3 count, okay? So, you're going to twist a little bit, then a little bit more, then a little bit more, looking over your shoulder, changing your gaze each time you twist, and then you're going to inhale and come back to the center. Do not crank, okay? This is what a crank looks like. Do not crank, okay? We're looking to rotate, stretch those abdominal muscles, refine them, get them tighter, get them engaged, okay? So cranking does not help that. Rotation does. Yes, you can do it. So overlap the hands, sit up nice and tall. Let's try it in the other direction. You're going to inhale first, then you're going to exhale. Then you're going to inhale back to the center. Every time you twist, you should be seeing a different place in your space, okay? Inhale, now exhale. Inhale back to center. Now wring out those abs like a washcloth. Remember, keep your feet together. They do not part. Now the other side. To the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Last set. Last side. Good job. Remember, with your arms, your elbows should always stay up and at the same height as your shoulder. Sometimes we tend to drop them down here to chest height, and I want you to keep your arms up. Remember, Pilates is a total body workout, right? So our arms are getting worked, our legs are definitely engaged, and the rotation is helping with our core. Excellent job. Now we're going to go on to our single leg stretch. So lay back down on your mat. Bring your legs to what I call a tabletop position. I'll show you what that means. Just make sure that your knees are over your hips and your arms are going to be at your side just to prepare for the next exercise, okay? Here we go. So feet are going to raise up to our tabletop position. Knees are over the hips and then knees are in line with the ankles, all right? So with my hands on the mat, this is what it looks like. Now, for a single leg stretch, we're going to bring our hands up so they're to the outside of the calves, all right? Now, if this is your first time, your head can remain on the mat, or if this is still your first time, or your second time, or your third time, how many ever times it is, you feel free to come up to your C curl position. So that's here. That's your chin hovering over your chest. Your eyes are gazed and looking at and for your belly button without your chin touching your chest. And your legs are still up here, okay? Now, I'm going to show you the exercise two ways. One with my head down and one with my head up in a C curl. Either way, all legs do the same movement. You're going to bring one knee into the chest at a time. The hand of the opposite side is going to be on top of the knee. The hand of the same side is going to be under the foot. The opposite leg is going to be hanging in the air, okay? Because we're stretching the leg that is bent and the hip of the leg that is bent. Then the knees come together, they meet up, they say, hi, how you doing? And then you extend the opposite leg, okay? See, my left arm is grabbing the bottom of my left foot. My right hand is on top of my left knee for support. More of a pull in, okay? Then they come back together, they say hello, and then we continue to separate them to stretch. All right? Now, I'm going to show you the exercise from the C curl position. Knees together, legs apart. Together, apart. Together, apart. Good. So we've had the motion down. Now let's talk about the breathing. So whenever the knees are together, we're going to inhale. Whenever the legs are apart, we're going to exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep going. I'm going to do a few with my head down, and then we're going to transition. So 3 more. Inhale, exhale. 2 more sets. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last set. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. And then we're going to finish with our knees together and hanging in the air. Sounds good? Great. Now we're going to move on to an exercise called scissors. So extend both your legs into the air, toes are pointed. Now you may notice in a lot of these exercises, my toes are pointed. Feel free to not point your toes if it causes you to have a cramp in the bottom of your foot. But if you feel most comfortable pointing your toes, I encourage you to point your toes. All it does is engage your calf muscles, and so it gives you more tension on the muscles that you're already using. But know that the exercise works just the same with your toes not pointed. Pointed toes only increase the intensity, okay? And you are in control of that intensity, all right? So, scissors. Legs up, my toes are pointed, okay? Notice that my legs are over my hips, and my hands are going to be at the side. Now, for scissors, we're going to pull each knee to the chest for a 2 count while the other leg falls away. So it looks like this. 1, 2, and all we're doing is we're stretching the muscles in the back of the leg that we're pulling towards the chest, and then we're going to bring them together and then switch. 1, 2, okay? Now, feel free to keep your head down on the mat, but you can come back up to that C-curl position from the single leg stretch. So like so, chin hovering over the chest, eyesight gazing to the belly button, and now your knee is going to come more towards your nose. So it's a 1, 2, then switch. 1, 2. Always grab behind the calf, not behind the knee for this one, okay? Behind the calf, or even you can grab behind the hamstring, but not at the knee. Too many muscles back there for you to grab there, all right? Not good for you. So grab behind the calf or the hamstring. Now 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, okay? Now, we're going to breathe when we bring it in, or exhale, when we bring the knee closer to the chest for the 2 count. So watch. Inhale as they pass each other. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Three more sets. 2 more. 1 more set. Nice job. Go ahead and lower your head down and lower your legs down. And just take an inhale and an exhale. You're doing a great job. Let's go ahead and turn over into our tummy. And we're going to go into an exercise called breaststroke. So, with your chest on the mat, your legs extended, your feet are going to be bridge of the foot down, toes pointed. Your hands are going to be on the outside of your chest. And your chest is going to be low to the mat, or touching the mat. Now, elbows are going to be back. And your hips, in front of your hips, are going to be pressed into the mat as much as possible, okay? We're then going to take our arms and drive them up above our head, okay, with the palms staying down. Then we're going to turn our palms out, round our arms, and then we're going to turn our palms out and round our hands back up to the top. So the only time we're going to bring our hands here is during the start, okay, of this exercise. Let me show you what I mean by the actual exercise. So, glide your arms up, turn your palms out, round, okay? And then turn your palms out and round back up, okay? Now, some things you may notice, or one thing really you will notice, is that when I round, my chest comes up slightly, giving me a little bit of a stretch in my lower back. And then when I lower or bring my arms back above my head, my chest lowers back down to the mat. That's what you're looking for. If you have any lower back discomfort, feel free to simply keep your chest as low to the mat as possible at all times. Low to the mat as possible at all times if you have any lower back issues, okay? Otherwise, let's go ahead and do the full exercise. So let's pretend we're starting from the beginning, hands on the outside of the chest. You're going to inhale, drive your arms up. Turn your palms out. Now exhale and round. Turn your palms out. Inhale. Now exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Keep looking down at your mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. 3 more. 2. And 1 more. Very nice job. Now, you want to make sure whenever your feet are on the mat for any exercise, for the most part, your feet are going to be no wider than the width of the mat, okay? So we don't want them too far apart, and we don't want them narrow and touching. We want them right on the corners of the mat, okay? Excellent job. All right, now we're going to go into something called a single leg kick. So for our single leg kick, we're going to bring our elbows underneath our shoulders with our pinky finger down and our thumb up. We're then going to lift our chest off the mat. As you see, my chest is lifted off the mat, still pressing our pelvis into the mat, therefore engaging our glutes, our butt muscles. And then we're going to take each foot at a time and do 2 movements with it before setting it back down and then tucking our toes and doing 2 movements, okay? So it looks a little bit like this. We're going to take our right foot, toes pointed, and we're going to bring our heel halfway and then all the way, or as close to the glute as possible, feeling a stretch in the front of the thigh, and then we're going to lower it down for a 1 count. Then we're going to take the same foot, and we're going to tuck the toes of that foot, creating a 90-degree angle in our ankle, and then we're going to kick halfway, and then all the way, or as close to the glute as possible, and then lower down. Then we're going to untuck, and do the same thing with the same leg in the same order for a number of sets before switching to the other leg, okay? So let's try just the movement by itself. Toe is pointed. Let's use the heel and kick halfway. Now get as close as possible before we lower down. Now we're going to tuck, and we're going to come halfway, and then as close as possible without lifting our thigh off the mat, and lower down. Then we're going to untuck, and we're going to kick halfway, and then all the way before lowering down. Now we're going to tuck, and we're going to kick halfway, and then all the way before lowering down. Now we're not yet ready to switch legs, but what we're going to do is incorporate the breathing. So with toes pointed, we're going to inhale, inhale, exhale as we lower. Tuck the toes, we're going to inhale, inhale, exhale as we lower. Untuck the toes. Here we go. Tuck the toes. Untuck. And tuck. Untuck. And tuck. Now look forward. If you weren't looking forward before, tuck. Untuck. And tuck. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Untuck, 1 more set. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Now go ahead and tuck the toes. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Great job. Now, you should feel a stretch in the front of the thigh. You should feel some rotation and stretch in your ankles. You should even hear some things opening up down there in your ankle, in your calf. It's going to be a little bit tight. Those are all normal, typical feelings. Now let's switch to the other side. We're going to stay in this position. Your shoulders might be getting a little bit tired from being up on your elbows. But as I said, Pilates is a total body workout. So even though your arms aren't doing anything, your shoulders aren't doing anything, you pressing your pelvis into the mat, engaging your abdominals, resting up here on your elbows is engaging your shoulders and your arms, okay? All right. If you feel that you've slipped out of alignment and your elbows are not quite under your shoulders, feel free to adjust. Other leg. Here we go. Toes pointed. Inhale, Inhale, exhale. Tuck your toes. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Untuck. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Tuck those toes. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Untuck. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Tuck the toes. Inhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Three more sets. Tuck the toes. Last set. Tuck. Wonderful job. All right, now we're going to place our hands on the outside of our chest, and we're going to push up, and we're going to sit our glutes onto our heels for a shell stretch. So push up, push your hips back, bring your glutes as close to your heels as possible, and keep your arms outstretched. Good. Now we're going to place our forehead on the mat, and when we place our forehead on the mat, we're going to keep it there on the mat, okay? We're also then going to round our arms once our forehead is on the mat so they come to the outside of our legs and their palm side up, okay? So, let's start with our arms outstretched in our shell stretch, forehead on the mat, and we're going to round one arm at a time. And this is only preparing for the exercise. This is not the exercise itself. If you wear glasses like I do, I recommend that you take them off. It'll make it more comfortable. Bring your forehead down to the mat. You're going to look between your feet and make sure that your ankles are in alignment with your knees and that your toes are not touching for this exercise. And if you find that your glutes are coming up into the air, feel free to bring your bottom down and still keep your forehead on the mat. Now for the exercise, what you want to do is you want to round your back while keeping your forehead on the mat. You'll feel a nice stretch in the back of your neck, your lower back, and definitely in the mid part of your spine, okay? You're going to exhale the entire time that you're rounding your back. And once you've expelled all that breath, you're going to inhale and restart, okay? So just to show you what it looks like, forehead on the mat, inhale. Inhale, come back to start position. So I exhaled, I rounded, I let all that air out, and then once the air was finished, I came back down to my start position and inhaled again, okay? Okay, so let's do this together. So let's inhale, shoulders away from the ears, palms up. Exhale. Inhale, come back down. You'll find that you go from resting on your forehead to the top of your head coming down to the mat. So inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Two more, just two more. Inhale, exhale. And last one. Inhale, exhale. Fantastic job. Come on up to a seated position. If you wear glasses like me, you can put your glasses back on. And we're going to come to a seated position for a seated spine stretch. So, heels are going to be down, toes are going to be up, legs are going to be no wider than the width of the mat. And what we're going to do for this exercise, we're going to sit up nice and tall, bring our shoulders down, stick our chest out, look forward, and we're just going to walk our fingertips between our feet, hinging at the hip. Okay, stretching as far forward as we possibly can and as much as comfortable as we can. And then you're going to drag your fingers back towards the center of your body and come back and restart. Okay? So, spine should be nice and long. You should be seated right on your tailbone, nice and comfortable, right on your sit bones. You're going to inhale, and as you exhale, drive your fingers away. Sit more firmly into the mat. Keep your legs nice and long. Feel the stretch in the back of your legs. Feel the stretch through your shoulders as you drag your fingers back. And restart. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Look up and look forward. Make sure your shoulders drop down to restart. Now exhale. Inhale. 2 more here. And exhale. Good. And last one. Inhale and exhale. Good. Wonderful job today. All right, let's sit forward, crisscross applesauce motion, position, or you can have your legs outstretched. And what we're going to do at the end of each class, I'd like to take 3 cleansing deep breaths, bringing our arms above our heads in a rounding position, and then we exhale as we lower our arms down. And this just helps us to tell our body we are finishing our set for today, our class for today, and then preparing ourselves to go forward with the rest of our day, okay? So, I want you to bring your arms on the outside of your legs. If you don't feel comfortable sitting crisscross applesauce, feel free to stretch your legs out in front of you, okay? It's totally fine. So, bring your arms to the outside of your legs. I want you to inhale, bring your arms up. Pull your belly button as tight to your spine as possible. And exhale. Again, bring your arms up. Inhale. Allow your palms to touch at the top. Looking forward. Now exhale. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Great job today. I want to thank you for joining me, Paula, and for doing Pilates with me today. I hope to see you next time, and I wish you a great rest of the day. Bye now.